Yo, unfreaking believable. Unbelievable. I gotta be honest with you, that game drove me nuts. I cannot believe the Buccaneers lost that game. Wow. I don't even know what to say. Tough one. Ah, man, that was an absolute blazer from Cooch, wasn't it?
What a crazy game. The Bulls are bowl-bound for the third season in a row. An incredible performance. And listen, we know the competition. They did what they had to do. No more silver linings. No more moral victories. It was put up or shut up time. And boy, did they rise to the occasion.
Bro, let's just say that I just hope this all works out. I really hope this all works out, guys. Let's just start with that. What's going on? Shout out to my guy, Will Howard. I see you on TikTok. My guy hurt his elbow. One of the best players here in the Tampa Bay area. 13 and under, going to be 14 and under, going to be a stud at Plant High. And just remember that name, my guy, Will Howard. Hurt his elbow. A lot of love for my guy, man. So shout out to you, Will. Again, that's the name to keep an eye on going forward. That kid's a baller. Pitcher, infielder, outfielder. You could do it all over the place. His dad, Billy, and his mom, Carolyn, like they're awesome people. And yeah, and his dad, Billy's nuts, and we love him. He's a big 6'7" guy, but we love the Howard family, that's for sure. So my guy, Will, I appreciate you, my dog, and I hope you feel better soon. Welcome to the Jay Recher Podcast. This is a Hall of Fame type day on the program today. I cannot believe this is the show that we have lined up for you guys today. Bro, it's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. Hit the freaking music, bro. It's going to be crazy. So it's a Hall of Fame type of show today. We got Ira Kaufman, Pro Football Hall of Fame voter, joining us at 12:30. We have USF Hall of Famer and Tampa Bay Rowdies exec Jeff Attinella joining us at 1 o'clock. And then at 1:30 today, we have the legend himself, the one and only Phil Esposito, Hockey Hall of Famer, founder of your Tampa Bay Lightning. Bro, I honestly don't know how this is going to go. I don't have any clue, to be honest with you. I was on the phone with Phil all freaking morning trying to get this to happen, trying to get this to work. So hopefully it does work. We don't know for sure, but we'll see. Follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. I am everywhere. Like and subscribe on YouTube as well. And guys, now if you want to join, the memberships are available. So head on over to the membership page. Go to the main page on YouTube. And right where it says subscribe, right next to it, it says join. And right there, for a small fee, I think it's $6 and $13. $6 is the home run level. $13 a month is the Grand Slam level. And you see all the different things. You get loyalty badges, early access to new videos, member shout outs, discounted merchandise. You get suggest a guest, where you can help me book the guests on the show, and then members only live chats. So when you join, and those are for the Grand Slam, the first 3 is just the home run. All 6 are for the Grand Slam level. Yo, check it out, bro. Come on by, join the show, join the Grand Slam level. Every little bit helps. And as well as the super chats, as well as, the everything, hitting the like button, share this on your all social media platforms, but get on over there, join, become a member, the Jay Recher Podcast, become a member of the crew. It's a big deal, man. It's the way we're going to keep this show rolling. DT with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. You are the man. DT, it's the Hall of Fame show and the Jay Recher Podcast. You got that right. BRBK, 2 great shows coming up. Ira Kaufman and Phil, and Jeff Attinella, Eric Erlinson, Ian Beckles, Bob Harrig as well, going to join us. Shout out to Benny and Greg DeCruz. Appreciate you, buddy. Bart Hill, always supporting the crew. The Godfather. That is right. Also on the show today, we'll talk about the U.S. men's national team, what happened last night. Their 3-2 loss to Turkey. The Rays bouncing back in a big way. They absolutely rolled the Royals. Unfreaking believable. That was something. What I'm keeping an eye on this weekend, but of course, the big things today. Jeff Attinella, as well as Ira Kaufman and Phil Esposito joining us on the show. I see Brady on there as well. My guy Brady, an incredible athlete as well. Brady Kelly, a stud at Durant, playing for the Hit Factory Pros 2027. My guy hit a bomb the other day. Shout out to all my pros out there. Ty Fraga, TC, standout two-way player. These guys are just incredible. They're just getting better and better and better. Love them, man. All right, everybody out there, show some love to our partners. Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC. Bruh, you see the hard hat right here. We out here, bro. We out here. We're out here. We out here. EverHealth, our EverHealth injury report with Dr. Carlos Rodriguez. Another great show yesterday with him on it. And then, of course, Wayne Gonzalez Roofing and Salco Screens. Whatever you can do to help them helps me. And, yeah, a lot of love. Hit that like button, guys and girls, wherever you're watching from, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or TikTok. Hit that like button. Share this on your social media platforms. Send over the gifts like our guy David Terry on YouTube with the $10 super chat. Sign up for the memberships today on YouTube. Go there right now. Right next to the subscribe button, it says join. Click on join. You get the perks. You get discounted on the discounts on the clothes. You get the members only chats that we're going to have. I'm super excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then, of course, send over the gifts on TikTok as well. Let's start with the Rays. Unbelievable what we've been able to see from them the last 2 days. I mean, this is a team that was really struggling. And, you know, and I know some people are like, oh, well, what about now? What do you have to say about them now? I'm like, I don't, what do you want me to say? I don't want them to do poorly. I want them to do well. And what I was saying wasn't necessarily anything about the team in particular. It was just how they were covered and how they're lucky that when they're not playing well, that they're in the market that they're in. But it's funny, like these people are kind of like proving my point out there the last 2 days. Now everybody's like, wow, look how great they are. You beat up on a last place team. I mean, it just kind of is what it is. Greg, BRBK, did Hammer build the Tampa studio? No, but when me and Marissa get our place, we're going to check that out and see if that makes sense or not. If we need to build something out or just keep it simple. But yeah, if I'm going to do that, of course, our guy Hammer is the man. You look at what Junior Caminero did yesterday for the Rays. I can't say enough nice things about that kid because he played well defensively. You can tell he put the work in. And then offensively, the three bombas. He did what he had to do. I'm not surprised. And to me, it's as much as you look at this team and say they have their struggles, like when Junior's hitting and Yandy's hitting and Jonathan Aranda's hitting, like, yeah, it's going to give them a chance to win. And, you know, kudos to, I give Seymour the most credit yesterday. He was unbelievable on the mound. And then ironically enough, here comes Craig Kimbrell. Oh, I'll see El Puro Tampa. Appreciate that. Send the hearts, send the gifts. You heard that, right? That was nuts. I love that. Appreciate you. Every little bit helps, guys. And Kimbrell, the guy that's going to probably be a Hall of Famer one day, gives up the 2-run home run, blows the shutout, blows the no-hitter. But that's what you got to do. You got to take care of business. It doesn't have to be pretty all the time. Just get it done. Get it done. And I give a lot of respect to them being able to bounce back. We know that they're not going to roll over and die, but they need to go on a little bit of a run now. They need to make sure that they just, all right, we're not just winning series. Like you're hosting a team in Arizona, Zach Gallen on the bump. Come on. I know Arizona, it seems they're getting farther and farther away from when they were in the World Series just a couple of years ago with Torey Lovullo as the manager. They're 2 games over 500. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Appreciate you, El Puro. Thank you for the kind words on TikTok here. This is a team at home where they're 17-22 on the road, Arizona. Let's sweep this series. Not just 2 out of 3. Go sweep the series. You got to put the marker down here. Put the flag into the ground. You're incredible at home. I believe the Rays have the most wins at home in the big leagues. They do. Nobody has more wins at home. Well, Miami, ironically enough, has 28. They're 28-17. The Rays are 28-12. So they have the best winning percentage at home, but they're also 17-21 on the road. Like, listen, if you're the Rays and you want to catch the Yankees and you want to make sure that you're going through the rest of the kind of regular season on a high note and setting yourself up for a move at the trade deadline or 2 or 3, a lot of people ask me, like, what are the Rays going to do? And if it's 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, like, as much as I think that more should be made of like what they're not doing and how they need to do more. Um, it is tough if they're not as consistent, right? If they're not as consistent and you don't know what team they are they a division or are they a wild card or are they a pennant type team? Um, it's kind of hard for Eric Neander to sit there and go, all right, well, we're going to mortgage our future for this. I don't know. Oh, look at this. Our guy DT's in here. He's a new member. Look at that. New green, fresh. I like that. David Terry. I appreciate you, bro. You're the man. You're my favorite Liverpool fan. I used to have a guy I worked with at iHeart, Phil Azoon. He was my favorite Liverpool fan, but he went radio silent after they won after they won the Premier League 2 years ago, and he was rubbing it in my face when they had the year they had last year. And it was like, where'd you go? Where'd you go, bud? But DT, a new member. Thank you, my partner. Whatever you guys can do, every little bit helps. David Terry, a member on the program. You are the best, buddy. Thank you so very much. All right. Continuing the conversation about the Rays, you're looking at this team and you saw yesterday getting some bunts down, being able to move the baseball, playing good defense. That's the recipe for success. You're not going to go out and score as many runs as you have, all the time and be that type of offense. That's fine, but put the ball in play, do the right thing, steal some bases. You saw Cedric Mullins yesterday. I thought that was one of my biggest takeaways from the game yesterday. It wasn't Junior Caminero. It wasn't Ian Seymour, right? Because again, it's the Royals. It's a last place team. You get a 2-out, 2-strike hit from Cedric Mullins. He steals second base. Like, that's what this team needs to do. There needs to be a relentless type of mindset, especially offensively with this team. You can't take a day off. You can't take an inning off. You can't take a pitch off. Like, that's what made this team roll. And as much as we look at the 2020 season and what Randy Arozarena did, I mean, he really did carry them. The most dangerous offense that this team ever had was back in 2007, 6, 7, 8, 9, where they scared teams because you had Upton, you had Crawford, they got on the bases and they caused havoc. You had a situation where you had Evan Longoria and Carlos Pena. Like, this was a team that really, really scared you because they could hurt you in so many different ways. They have to get back to doing that. They have the guys in Caminero and Diaz and Jonathan Aranda, but Chandler Simpson did look good yesterday. I like when he's being able to hit the ball and up the middle, not trying to pull everything, keep the ball on the ground, use your speed, but they still have to continue to work with him to make sure that he's having good productive at-bats. He's got to not expand the zone. He's got to be able to take his walks. And I think you got to find a solidified spot for him in the order. I don't think he gets on base enough to be a leadoff hitter, but he's the perfect 9-hole hitter. I wish they didn't look at it. They're looking at it so much as, well, if he gets on base behind a catcher or a guy that's not as fast, you're going to clog up the bases. Well, those are the guys that are not hitting singles anyway. They're hitting extra base hits and they're hitting home runs. So, like, get him in a position where if he's batting ninth and leading off the inning, or let's say it's 8-9-1 and that guy gets out and it's a 1-out and you get on base, and then it's Yandy, Cammy, and like that, to me makes a lot of sense. But I don't know. It is what it is. They're raising their offensive mindset. Just doesn't make much sense to me. Shout out to my guy, Pat Russo, and all the Hit Factory pros, all my Hit Factory guys and USA Scout. Keep an eye out. My bio's coming out soon for USA Scout. Did something special for it. I got some testimonials from Joe Urso from UT, testimonial from Paulie Russo at Tampa Catholic, and former 11-year MLB veteran Denard Span, friend of the program. Never had a chance. Walked that City Walk yesterday. Had to ask to have the game put on. Which one, in Orlando? I mean, that's the thing too, is like you get into a situation where like you still have to ask people to put the race games on. Like, I don't know, man. That's just kind of the way it goes. It's got to change. It has to. It's like anything in life. We are your biggest currency is your time. People always want to talk about your biggest currency being money. It's not. It's time, because it's the one thing that you can never get back. You can never get it back. So for me, going out there and making sure that you are capturing people when their time is fleeting and they only have so many hours a day that they're awake. Like I focus on that here on the show. If it's not entertaining and informative, I'm not giving you something to really grasp and take in. Like, dude, why are you gonna stay here? Why wouldn't you go somewhere else? Rolly, I am late. Any news about the memberships? Did I miss anything? You sure did, buddy. David Terry, our first member. Benny, you got to get on there. Get on over to YouTube, Rolly. Get on over to YouTube, and right where it says subscribe, right next to it says join. Go there, right there. Click on join. You have the 2 memberships package. You could be a home run level or a grand slam level. Special perks. All the information is on there. Please, whatever you guys can do to help out. NBC Restaurant with the Universal City Walk, yeah. But that's the thing, is when people talk about the Rays. Hi, Mal. People talk about the Rays and, go to Orlando and they're going to, bro, the Rays, if it'd be one thing if they were knocking down the door for the Rays in Orlando, but they're not. They're not. It's not like it's like, there's so many Rays fans there. It's like a hot topic of conversation. The Orlando Dreamers and John Morgan and Morgan. It's just, come on, man. That's not realistic. We haven't heard much on the stadium deal as of late. So that's something to certainly keep an eye on. Jesse Pookie in the house. What's going on, Jesse? All right. Let's talk a little bit about what happened last night with the U.S. men's national team with their loss 3-2. And Benny, I did see that. Saw Braden Woodburn throw out the first pitch at the Rays game the other day with Joe Urso and the entire crew. Look at Marissa on TikTok as well. Marissa loves, I don't know if you guys know this, but Marissa loves Morgan Wallen more than she loves me. But just the way it goes, you know what I mean? I don't know. I had some help. I'm gonna have to change that. Missy. But yeah, who watched the game last night? Did you watch it? U.S. men's national team on a 10 o'clock start. First off, real quick, shout out to my people at the Blind Goat. I went there yesterday after we had a game down in Bradenton. Again, power hour yesterday. Drove down to Bradenton. It was hot as hell. We got smoked, and I was not in the best of moods. And I missed Marissa, of course. And there was only one thing that was going to make me feel better yesterday after losing in the fashion that we did down there at IMG in Bradenton. And that was go to my favorite place to get wings and one of my favorite places to be in Tampa, the Blind Goat right there on Henderson. As soon as you walk in that place, they make you feel so welcome. And, I get the Pootie Tang, I get the garlic parm wings. I'm going to leave and there's more people that show up. And talking to the owner, George, and congratulations to George, finally taking a freaking honeymoon, bro. Good for you. I think it's first time taking off in like 12 years. And he goes, hey man, we're just your friendly neighborhood bar. But you're way more than that. And just to see how happy people are there, the bartenders, the servers, the bar backs, like just everybody, they make you feel so welcome there. I'm mad at you, Uni, because you didn't show up because you were too busy working. But just everybody, like I walk out of there and you walk out of there with a smile on your face. And best wings in town. I actually had one of my friends hit me up today, go, yo, you were at the Blind Goat last night? That's my favorite place to get wings. I mean, I've been saying that for years. Where do you go get pizza, Jay Recher? Alfonso's on the corner of Bears in Florida. Where do you go get wings? The Blind Goat on Henderson. That's where it's at. That is where it's at. Go there, especially go there to watch these freaking crazy soccer games. Their World Cup coverage has been insane, unbelievable. Such a great atmosphere. And they have the trivia nights there. They have the karaoke. Like they do a little bit of everything, which is a lot of fun. So head on over there and tell them that Jay Recher sent you. Go on over to The blind goat on Henderson. Where do I go for barbecue? You know what's funny? I used to go to, oh, where was that place? It was on Armenia. Was it Howard or Armenia? Holy Hog. That was my jam. I'm still looking for a real good barbecue spot because I feel like, and I've been to a lot of different ones. I've been to Jazzy's. I've been to the nice place there in Temple Terrace. The name is the old school. I've been to Four Rivers. Like there's a lot of decent, Mission Barbecue. I'm still looking for that right combination of affordability, sides, burn ends, pulled pork, chicken. I'm still trying to find. My guy Josh Jeffrey, Conan Solid Barbecue. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Shout out to my guy Nathan Elliott, big time Buccaneer fan. Woo woo. Pig Out Barbecue, Manatee Avenue in West Bradenton. Okay, Nate, I'm actually going down to Bradenton. Maybe. Scott, what's your favorite beach bar or restaurant? Listen, it is Friday. It is Friday. So it is Ask Me Anything Friday on the J Retro Podcast. What's your favorite beach bar or restaurant? I used to like, what's the place right there outside of Paso Grill? I forgot the name of it right now, but God, I can't remember. Right there outside of Paso Grill. Somebody will let me know. Ellie's Barbecue in Dunedin. Let's meet up at Pig Out. I got baseball tonight, brother, or else I would. I got to get back because it's an early morning tomorrow. All right, real quick, before ask me anything, I'll answer whatever you guys got. Don't forget, David Terry's our new member. Join the club, join the crew. Go on YouTube and click on join and go from there. All right, U.S. men's national team last night. Let's touch on that real quick. If you are going to judge this team based on what you saw last night against Turkey, you can't because there were so many changes for this team. 9 new starters, including the goalkeeper, Matt Turner, in there for Matt Freese. The only 2 guys that stayed in were Ricardo Pepi and Weston McKennie. And for Ricardo Pepi, like he's a guy that he was only starting in game 2 because they went with 2 strikers at the top with Christian Pulisic being out. Weston McKennie, he's one of our best players, and the fact that he was able to play 85 minutes, not get hurt, not play stupid, like it just shows the maturity of his game. I'm so impressed by Weston McKennie. I love that dude. He's a game changer. He is a factor. Now, Christian Pulisic going in that game and seeing him play a good 30, 35 minutes gives me a lot of hope that he's back and he's ready to roll. God, he just looks like, for years, we were always worried about these guys when they hit the national stage. Are they going to shrivel up? Are they going to shy away from the spotlight? But man, what we've seen is with especially those 2 guys and Flo Balogun, they are freaking, they're going right at it. They are not backing away. They're attacking defenders. I love that. You didn't see it as much. I thought Brendan Aronson was okay. I thought Gio Reyna was okay. Neither one of those guys really stood out too much to me when it came to, all right, I should be a starter. I should be the first guy off the bench. Sebastian Berhalter certainly did. An assist and a goal last night. I thought he played phenomenally. And he's a guy that I know he plays for Vancouver and he's played a ton for the MLS. He's 25 years old. He needs to go play in Europe somewhere. He's got to go. Get over there. Because he needs to be ready for the World Cup in 4 years when he's 29 years young. But it's just a drop-off, and that's the thing. You can't be surprised by that, and that's where we do come up short against other nations, where if Portugal or Brazil or some of these other teams rotated players, they would still have world-class dudes in those spots. Us, unfortunately, we just don't have that. Like, there's a precipitous drop-off between Anthony Robinson and Austin Trusty, who, good on him, scored the goal early, battled through injury, but it's just not the same. The 2 guys in the middle last night with Robinson and McKenzie, I wasn't blown away by either one of those guys. And a lot of people say, why Tim Ream? Why Chris Richards? That's why, man. Their elite communication skills and their calmness on the ball. And then right back, I mean, Joe Scally, I want to cheer for the guy. He's a Long Island guy, but he just looked out of his depth last night. And Serginho Dest, even when he goes in there for a little bit, just the speed. And Jurgen Klinsmann said it years ago. and I saw it on social media. I think it was Jermaine Jones that said it, and he's totally right. Jurgen Klinsmann said years ago, the way that USA is going to catch up in soccer is by going and playing in Europe. And people over here clutch their pearls. I can't believe this. Why would they say such a thing? What do you think happens for other sports when they come to the States? When basketball players, when Luka leaves Slovenia, right? When Dirk left Germany, when, would go down to South America, when Manu left Argentina. Look at hockey. When players leave the KHL, they leave the Swiss league, the Swedish league, the Finnish league, right? Like, think about that. Baseball players, when they leave the Japanese league, like the four major sports. I mean, obviously we don't see too much NFL around the world, but the four major sports, like this is where it's at in the States. It's not like that in soccer. The best league is the Premier League. The best team is Paris Saint-Germain. Like, you're not going to get that much better. There's only going to be a ceiling if you're playing for the Vancouver Whitecaps or Orlando City. Like, that's just the way it goes. You could be stubborn and you can say all you want, but that's the reality of the situation. So, Sebastian, go. And then you look at, Timmy Weah last night was atrocious. And I feel bad because I know he's playing on the left. He's a guy that usually plays on the right, but he was just so bad last night. And this is a guy, like, I thought he was going to be a factor. Like, he's behind Tillman. He's behind Reyna. He's behind any of the guys up front. I'm just thinking about all the different positions that he could play. Like, he might not play at all. The rest of the postseason, or the rest of the tournament. I don't see it. He looks slow. He looked disengaged. That's not good enough. All right. And then lastly, I wanted to touch on this before we get to our good pal, Ira Kaufman. Watching that game last night, I want you guys to understand one thing. There is no player that is currently playing in the World Cup that can do more for his status as far as taking a leap into superstardom more than Christian Pulisic in the United States. And I don't want you to kind of misinterpret what I'm trying to say. Look who scored goals already in this tournament. Erling Haaland. He's already won the Golden Boot and won the treble with Man City. Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Kane, Kylian Mbappe. Like, all these guys, right? That how much more, like, and of course, I know what a World Cup would do for all those guys, but I'm talking about where a guy is going to start going into the tournament and then where people believe he is in the hierarchy of power players in the entire game. Nobody can make a bigger jump than Christian Pulisic. If this team gets to the semifinals, and he is instrumental in doing so, we're looking at the best player in the history of American soccer. Men's American soccer. Let me clarify that. We're looking at the greatest player in the history of men's soccer if they're able to make a deep run like that. And you're talking about a guy that isn't like, oh, that's cute. He's a guy that has been doing well, and but how good can he really be? He's doing well at AC Milan, and we know how it is in Italy. You have the powers of AC Milan and Inter and Juventus, and it's not the same in the middle and the bottom of the table. That's why the Premier League's so tough. And he didn't perform as well at Chelsea when he was there, or Borussia Dortmund. Like, he had success, but not like he is right now at AC Milan, and certainly not how he looks on the pitch right now for the United States. But you want to talk a guy that can really plant his flag into the ground. Like, you already see him doing commercials with Leo Messi. Imagine if he has an incredible run and they make a run to the semifinals or the World Cup final. Christian Pulisic will be one of the most popular players, one of the most popular people in this country, no doubt about it. And a lot of people have asked me, in order for the World Cup to really pay off here in North America, to really drum up that attention and to get more people invested, what do you need to see? We need to see exactly what we've seen so far. You need the stars from the other countries to come out and do their thing, and we've seen that so far. We need the U.S. to be dominant and you need their best players to be the best players. Check, check, check. With that being said, a loss to Bosnia-Herzegovina, it will all come crashing down. And people will say, I thought this team was supposed to be different. Well, we'll find out. We will certainly find out. All right, let's bring him in. Listen, we're starting this Hall of Fame show the only way we know how. He's the Pro Football Hall of Fame voter for Joe Bucs fan, our good pal, Ira Kaufman. And Ira, before you say anything, I told our good pal, Phil Esposito, I was on the phone with him for an hour today. And I said, Phil, we're starting the Hall of Fame show with Ira Kaufman. And he goes, I just talked to Ira. Tell him congratulations on winning the bet. I didn't read from a script for my Audible commercial. Congratulations on winning the bet with your wife. You owe him a cup of coffee.
Yeah, shouldn't you be wearing a gold jacket today to do this show? Shouldn't you?
Yeah, you're right. And you know what's funny? I am a Central Islip High School Hall of Famer, so I actually should have worn my purple jacket. It's actually in my closet. But I thank you so much for joining us today, partner. What is that like to have a guy? And you know what Phil said? He loved when you covered the Lightning because you were honest. And I said, we must be talking about a different guy. But he said you've been around even before the Lightning were around, and he said it was people like you that helped get the word out. And of course, we know how instrumental Steve Dumig was doing that. But man, Ira, to see how far this team has come over the years, it's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Makes me feel good to hear Phil say that. Now, Jake, for your listeners, for your millions of listeners from here to Guatemala, I want to tell you this story with Phil because this happened the other night. So, Jay, I'm watching the Seinfeld reruns because there's nothing else on TV to watch. And it's 7:30 at night, and Kramer trips over the couch, and they go to commercial. And there he is again. I can't get away from the guy. There's Phil with Audible. And my wife has hearing aids. She does.
Okay.
So I'm watching this, for the 100th time. And Phil as well as I do.
Yeah.
And the only reason I watch the commercial is when he drops his head, like we've seen him do many times, and utters the immortal line, even when I'm talking to my wife. I mean, that's a classic Phil line.
Right.
So I watch it again, and I tell my wife, I'm calling Phil. So I do. He picks up. What's up, Ira? I said, Phil, I can't get away from you on Audible. I just can't. I'm watching Seinfeld. You're all over this thing. And I got a $10 bet with my wife. That line, even when I'm talking to my wife, fantastic, was an ad lib by you. It was not on the script. And you added that, and I got $10 riding on this thing. He starts laughing. He goes, Ira, there was no script. I wing the whole thing. So in that way, I guess my wife owes me $10 in a way. But Jay, just the way Phil delivers that line, that is a classic Esposito moment. He didn't have to add that. He just could have said, when my wife and I have conversations, fantastic. He didn't do that. No. So, just being around the guy, Jay, I've never seen him in a bad mood. I mean, incredible. Never, except when he was screaming at Roy Cummings behind closed doors. And me and Martin Fennelly and Tom Jones used to stand outside the door of Phil's office and watch him point his finger at Roy about some story that Cummings just wrote, and we would just laugh hysterically. But I'm very glad that he used the word fair, because you know who else used that? Speaking of a Hall of Fame show, I did a big story on Steinbrenner in 2002. One of the sports editors said, hey, take 3 weeks and write a story. What do you want to do? I said, well, we've written 1,000 stories on Steinbrenner, but we haven't written the story on Steinbrenner. His affiliation with Tampa as a second home. So I made, I took 3 weeks, Jay. I put a lot into this story, a lot. I tracked down Al Davis with the Raiders because he was born on July 4th, a year before George was. George is 1930, Al Davis 29. I knew they were friends. I track him down. I get the secretary. What do you want to talk to Mr. Davis about? Well, I'm doing a big story on Steinbrenner. This is his adopted hometown of Tampa. going to be in the Tribune. All right, I'll see what happens. I'll do my best. Jay, 15 minutes later, I'm in the office. She calls back. Be at your phone at 3 o'clock. Mr. Davis will be calling you. So I went home, Jay, and I'm sitting on my patio like I am today. And the phone rings, and there's Al. And I start talking to him. He goes, where the hell you from, Kaufman? I said, Brooklyn. He goes, Brooklyn. Now we can talk.
Yeah,
he went to Erasmus High School. I went to New Utrecht High School. Jay, New Utrecht's biggest rival was Lafayette. Well, Lafayette was Sandy Koufax.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at the great alumni of New Utrecht High School, Jay, you know what you come up with? Buddy Hackett.
Wow.
Buddy Hackett, the comedian. I got Buddy Hackett. They got Koufax. Anyway, Jay, just to finish the story, how can I help you, Ira? I'm doing a big profile of George. I know you want to weigh in on this. What's George's significance? What's his legacy?
Mm-hmm.
Jay, only Al Davis could say this. Only one. He goes, you got your tape recorder going, Ira? I said, yes, Al. Okay, take this down. In the history of sports, one man reigns above all others in terms of impact and importance. That man is Al Davis. That man is Al Davis. This is what he says to me. He goes, number 2, I'll give it to George. Number 2. That's my opening quote, Jay. You can't beat it.
Oh, my gosh.
You can't beat it. So anyway, the next day, Jay, after the story ran in the Tribune, the next day, Steinbrenner called me. He goes, I don't call a lot of people after they write stories about me. New York, I'm in the Post and the news every freaking day. He goes, Ira, that was the fairest story anybody's written about me. He used that word again. So Jay, today's the day to celebrate fairness in the media, and let's take a deep dive into your 26 Buccaneers over there, Mr. Recher.
Let's do it. And real quick, I was in Brooklyn last weekend for my my niece's birthday party in Fort Greene, I think it was over there. And then I went to Coney Island to watch the Rowdies play Brooklyn FC. So
I love it.
I was in your neck of the woods, Kaufman. I was in your neck of the woods.
Jay, doesn't the Mets still have that team, the Cyclones, in Coney Island?
Yeah, Brooklyn Cyclones. That's where they play the games. They play the soccer games on there too. So it was pretty cool. They had some of the old Mets stuff out there, but we ain't talking about the Mets. They got rid of Mendoza today, Kaufman. They might need to get me and you up there to run that.
Jay, I can't say anything because I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. I mean, it's a disaster. Now they got this whole thing with Pride Night. It's a disaster.
Real quick, because we're going to talk Bucs, obviously. I feel like baseball's in a rough spot right now, Ira. NBA Finals was fantastic. Hockey trades and free agency in the Stanley Cup Final was good. The World Cup has gone as well as it could have gone. Judge is hurt. You got all this stuff with Devers and Jazz Chisholm and Francisco Lindor, the issues with Pride Night. Like, baseball's in a weird spot, Ira. You and I are both big baseball guys, but I just feel like the headlines there are as low as they could possibly be at the end of June, which is very weird.
Hey, Jay, as low as they are, and you're making good points, you better enjoy this season while you got it.
Yeah, you're
right. Because who knows what 27 is going to bring.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, speaking of what's 27 going to bring, we'll start at the top with Baker Mayfield. I've said that I don't think that there's going to be a deal reached before the season between the Bakers and the Buccaneers because they both kind of have to see how this whole thing plays out. You don't know what the future is with Todd Bowles. You don't if this thing goes in the crapper, Bowles is probably gone. And then would that next guy, whether it's Zach Robinson or somebody else, would they even want a Baker Mayfield? And then you're probably not going to want to pay him upwards of $55-60 million if he doesn't perform well. But if he does do well, then maybe the band comes back and then you deal with it then. What's your take on the Baker situation as far as this wait and see approach? I've said that I think both sides are in a risky situation here. What do you make of Baker and the Bucs, their interactions, and whether you think a deal will get done at some point?
Well, Jay, the first thing is obvious. Without the post-buy collapse, Mayfield's already got a 3-4 year extension. I mean, all he had to do was play decent, and the Bucs go 5-4 instead of 2-7. And we're not having this conversation because, the Glazers, I think they want a franchise quarterback. Now, Jay, I wrote a story the other day. I don't know if you're aware of it. I did my original research, my man. Research. Jay, in the 50-year history of this franchise, 50, they have never had the same starting quarterback for more than 5 seasons. 5, not 10, 5. I went over all 32 teams. Nobody else has that. Nobody. They stand alone. And what does that mean, Jay? Well, they've made some mistakes in the draft, a la Dilfer, Freeman. You could argue Winston. 5 years is not a lot of time. Jay, a lot of these teams, forget about 6 or 7 years. They got guys that last 10 or 12, the Roethlisbergers and the Bradys. Right. Joe Burrow's going to do it. Josh Allen's going to do it. Lamar Jackson's going to do it. So in that respect, Jay, I think ownership is looking at this like it'd be nice to have the same face of franchise and some stability under center. Right. Jay, I think the thing that goes a little bit unnoticed in this Mayfield contract situation is I don't think enough people look at it from Mayfield's point of view. And by that, I mean, Jay, he's not afraid to bet on himself.
Right.
He's not afraid, even though an injury would be a disaster, a major injury, heading into a potential free agency. I don't think he's going anywhere, Jay. Worst comes to worst, they slap the franchise tag. It's not an enviable thing to do. They don't want to do that, but I don't think Mayfield's worried about this. I think he's betting on himself to throw 35 touchdowns, and the franchise tag's $50 million. Jay, he ain't going to the poorhouse. And if they don't do that, he hits free agency, and he's got a half a dozen suitors willing to pay him $55 million. I don't think Mayfield's worried about this at all.
Yeah, I'm with you, man, because it's like it is what it is, right? He bets on himself. That ultimate belief in him has gotten him to this point right now where he's, been the guy for the, 3 years he's been with the Buccaneers. My whole thing, too, we're talking about history. It was that 4th year where the injuries caught up with him in Cleveland, right? Where he played that same kind of reckless style. He hurts his left shoulder and he tries to grind through it. And then after that, Cleveland was like, yeah, we're going to look in a different direction. Now, we're not going to sit here and act like Cleveland are the greatest decision makers in the world. That's for sure. But I mean, how much of this too is, you look at the rest of the offense, you're going to have a Zach Robinson led, game plan, which is hopefully a little bit more than Liam Cohen than we saw for Josh Grizzard. And hopefully you get your starting center to start the year at center instead of left tackle. and I think, you have more weapons on the outside, hopefully more health at the wide receiver position going in this season. What about the offense as a whole, Ira? How do you perceive them as we inch closer to training camp?
Jay, I think this offense has every chance to return to form from 2024 when they averaged 29.5 points. Mm-hmm. And they went down to 22. That's a touchdown a game, Jay. That's enough to get you beat most weeks.
Huge.
And I'm a big believer, Jay, and I think you are too. If you have an elite offensive line that is healthy, you can almost do whatever you want in this league if you got a halfway decent quarterback.
Right.
And I go back to my Chiefs in the early 2000s, Trent Green, who's not a Hall of Famer. They had a top-notch offense because they had Will Shields, Willie Roaf, a couple of other guys. They stayed healthy. Yep. This is a really good offensive line, Jay, when healthy. I mean, really good. And I don't even think Wirfs was healthy last year. No, I thought his play dropped off a little. So I'm very bullish on this offense. Now, to me, the question mark is Bucky Irving, but I love the move for Gainwell. It gives them a little bit of insurance. Now, Jay, you mentioned something that's very interesting. Last year, down the stretch, maybe 3-4 games left, Mayfield, he wasn't 100%. He wasn't even close.
Right.
But if you leave it up to number 6, Jay, he's playing.
Yeah.
He's playing. Yeah. You heard him the other day bristle at somebody, questioning his running style, and he says, I played 51 games out of 51 the last 3 games. So I don't even think this is an issue. Mm-hmm. Jay, the problem was, Bowles looked around and Light looked around and the Glazers looked around and said, we got Teddy Bridgewater? I'm going to play Teddy Bridgewater in Miami? I'm not going to do that. Right. I'll go with 52% Baker Mayfield. And it caught up to him. it really affected Mayfield. The guy threw 2 interceptions before the bye week, Jay, and I think 9 after the bye week. So, not that, Jake Browning is not exactly Steve Young behind Joe Montana, but I got a little more faith in the guy. Lee, Bridgewater had nothing, absolutely nothing. So, Jay, if the same situation happens, I'm not leaving it up to Mayfield because I know what Mayfield's going to say. I'm going to leave it up to the training staff. And if I got to play Browning for a game or two, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, he was able to do that in Cincinnati, right? Hold down the fort a little bit when Joe Burrow was out.
He had some good moments in the league, Jake. He had some good moments.
And, with Baker down the stretch, last 8 games of the season, 9 picks, 2 lost fumbles compared to 10 touchdowns. So, obviously, you love the way he plays. You love that he plays, with his hair on fire. But I think sometimes you have to find that balance, right? Self-preservation has got to be part of the gig when it's such a central position, right? There's no balancing act of like, well, this isn't goaltending in hockey, right? Where it's like, well, you'll play him 62 games, we'll save him for himself, we'll put the backup in there. It's not like that in football, man. In order for you to win, your quarterback probably has to play, if not all the games. You maybe miss 1 or 2 because it could really put you behind the 8 ball. That's for sure.
Jay, the issue is Mayfield's demeanor. You don't want to put too many guardrails around him, Jay, because it could affect his play.
You're right. You rob him from what makes him special. No doubt about it. A big shout out to you and Lee and Steve and everybody over there at Joe Bucs Fan, joebucsfan.com. #1 web traffic when it comes to Buccaneer stuff on the web. You got to go check it out, joebucsfan.com. And a big shout out to the guys for putting up my interview yesterday with Josiah Trotter. And he and I talking about leadership. And I said, I know you weren't here, Rook, but 2 guys there, Ira, that it's already weird not seeing him there with Mike Evans and Levante David. Outside of Baker Mayfield, who are you looking at to see on both sides of the ball to pick up some of that leadership responsibility now that Mike Evans and Levante David are no longer with the Bucs?
Well, Jay, as far as leadership, maybe in Anzalone because he's been there. I don't want to put that on Ruben Bain's plate.
Right.
But as far as the guy that everybody's going to be watching, Jay, in August, it's Ruben Bain. Mayfield's Mayfield. Maybe you look at Irving, you see if he can recapture his form from 24 when he was absolutely fantastic, the guy that drove that offense. But Lee, I'm a little nervous that maybe too much is being hyped up about Bain because, Jay, there are some outliers, but generally speaking, even guys that develop into great pass rushers, they don't make a great impact that first year. Right. Not always. And I think the expectations for Bain are sky high. I love the pick. They had to take him. I can't believe he was there at 15. Jason Light can't believe he was there at 15. I mean, let's be honest. Jay, I said this to Light the other day. You did 100 simulations on the top first round. 2 out of those 100 had Bain being available at 15. Maybe 2, maybe 1. Lee, he's a big factor in developing Yaya Diaby into the next level. And I think Bain's got a real chance to make it because he just doesn't rely on the speed. And Jay, you've been around. You know these speed rushers a lot of times, if that's all you got, it doesn't work at the pro level.
What about the attitude, Ira? That's one thing too, where Ian and I were talking about this last year of like, who's that dog? Who's that guy that is just like, he doesn't care, right? If he's that man. And I love that. I love that the Buccaneers go out and they draft guys that are like Levante David, be that man. I understand that. But as well as I do, you need some guys that are a little prickly. You hear Baker Mayfield talk about Ashawn Robinson needing an a-hole. We know Warren Sapp wasn't trying to be your friend. We know Antonio Brown was out there. Like, you can't have all choir boys if you think you're going to be successful in such a dangerous and violent game. Is it the play or is it the attitude? When you look at Ruben Bain, what is it that excites you so much? Maybe not even just for year 1, but moving beyond that, the more fingerprints that he has on this game plan. And the more involved he is with this group, that it could rub off on them and they can really, achieve some great things.
Jay, from everything I can tell about Ruben Bain, everything, he's a serious man. He's a serious man.
Mm-hmm.
I think he loves football, which has been a problem at one Buck place on occasion with some of these draft picks and some of these free agent pickups, a la Hassan Reddick.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, do you realize that some of these guys that played substantial snaps for the Bucs last year are still without a football team?
Right.
Besides Reddick, Greg Gaines, little Greg Gaines, he's still out there. I believe Shoyanka, when he wasn't getting cut, is retired.
Yeah.
So, Jay, in terms of leadership, you make a great point. I think the best thing a sports organization can have going for it, the best thing, is when accountability comes in the locker room, right, and not from the coach's office. And of course, that was the driving force of the Bucs from 96 to 2002. That room had accountability for everybody, and it wasn't pass sap to chew out Brad Johnson on occasion. And they didn't have anybody like that last year, Jay. They didn't have it. And I don't know how you feel, but some of these quotes from Levante David and Bowles himself, Jay, about players taking plays off and losing focus, I mean, that is one damning indictment. Jay, what are Buck fans supposed to think about this? It's almost unprecedented to hear a coach talk about that, about his players.
I think the biggest problem that I had with the team last year was that they brought Jason Pierre-Paul back. And you know me, man, USF guy, Giants, Bucs. There's that guy was tailor-made to be, me to be a fan of that guy. But the fact that Larry Foote's sitting in there in the room saying that, we need more anger, we need more hustle, we need more fight, we need some more juice. Like, dude, I mean, this is a team that was telling us that, hey, they have, playoff and, postseason aspirations. They're going to make a deep run. And you got to get a guy off the couch to give you juice. I don't know if that's on the players, that's on the coaches. My answer is probably yes, because it's on everybody. But that's a problem, Ira. You need juice. Like, you can't manufacture the juice. You either have it or you don't. And that team last year did not have it. And that's why they didn't make the postseason.
I think that was a very important point you made about JPP. We love him.
Yeah.
Integral part of a championship team. Integral. But it told you all you needed to know about the $25. What a desperate move, Jay. What a desperate move. I don't even think he was brought in to make tackles and pressure quarterbacks.
No.
He might have been a spy in the locker room, Jay, to the coaching staff and ownership. I mean, who knows? Yeah. But that move in and of itself told you all you need to know. Jay, they're going to have 5 new starters on defense, not on offense, on defense. And I say God bless them, because that front 7, Jay, I think there was a realization, and that's one of the reasons Bowles was retained. I think there was a realization from the guys that signed the checks, Jay, and maybe even Light himself reluctantly acknowledging the talent level's not good enough on the front 7. It's just not good enough. And if Bowles doesn't do it again with these new guys, Jay, he's out. He's out.
Last thing before I let you go, buddy. Vita Vea is obviously the other big-time contract people are talking about outside of Baker Mayfield. It's a hold-in, right? So he's still around. He's wearing the baseball cap. At the end of the day, does he really need that type of work right now? Probably not. But as far as the future goes with Vita Vea, I mean, there's not many Vita Veas walking this planet, that's for sure. But, some people would like to see more from him. They would like to see him play more, be out there more. He's on the sidelines a lot. And years he has a lot of sacks, others not as much. He does occupy a lot of, offensive linemen, and sometimes that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And we get that. But also, I think, you would hope that Vita Vea would be one of those guys that would get on somebody, or you're hoping that Vita Vea this year is going to step into a little bit more of a leadership role with Levante being out. What's your take on Vita Vea the last couple of years, and also what you think his future is with the Bucs?
Jay, I look at Vea and Mayfield, 1 and 1A, however you want to rank them in terms of their future, inextricably tied to how many games the Bucs win and how competitive they are this year.
Right.
And Jay, you mentioned in passing and it probably should be said more than just in passing, because there's a chance this happens. There's a chance. There's a chance they go 6-11. There's a chance. Maybe you say Mayfield's going to get hurt or whatever it is.
You never know. Yeah.
You never know. And Jay, if that happens, I mean, God knows what kind of changes are going to be made. And Vea is the first casualty. He's not going to be re-signed if they go, south. But if the team remains competitive in the minds of the Glazers, hey, we're still a contending team. If things go right, we can do some damage in January. Then you think about bringing Vea back because he's so integral and ties up blockers. But Jay, he's the first guy out the door if things go south. His best days are probably behind him, but he's got value. Jay, he's got value, and unlike Reddick, if he hits free agency, somebody will give him a 2-year deal. Somebody.
It's funny you say that because as you're speaking there, Ira, I'm thinking about other names. If this does go south, let's say they go 5-12, 6-11, I could see Vita Vea. I could see Chris Godwin with all the young wide receivers they have. I could see Ty on the column with all these other corners that they have. So, I mean, for those fans out there that love these players, it ain't just going to be Todd Bowles, and it might not just be, if they want to go in a different direction at quarterback, Baker Mayfield. You could be looking at Vita Vea, Chris Godwin, Zion McCollum, guys like that walking out the door.
That was smart of you to add Godwin to the list. That absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Ira Kaufman, the legend, the sage, our friends at Joe Bucs Fan, they do such an incredible job. Again, number one when it comes to web traffic, on covering the Buccaneers on the internet, man. Go check them out, joebucksfan.com. You never know what you're going to see, bro. It's amazing. Like, I don't know how Lee and Steve do it. I don't know how you do it, brother. It'll be 3:00 in the morning, and they'll be like, this person was talking about the Bucs in Tupelo, Mississippi.
That's right.
Washington. I'm like,
that's right.
What the hell, man? I thought I was the only person burning the midnight oil here. But
it's all encompassing, Jay. I don't know how those guys do it. God bless Lee DeKemper. I think he's born with a phone next to his ear. But Jay, 24/7. That's what these guys do.
No doubt about it. Hall of Fame voter and a Hall of Fame type of guy. One of my favorite people, the one and only Ira Kaufman. Ira, go get your money from your wife. Make sure you pay for coffee for my friend Phil. We're going to all go out and get dinner and get a drink and with Phil. So when that happens, I'll certainly text you and we'll get together, my brother. Thank you for your time. We'll talk soon.
Looking forward to it, Jay. Take care.
You got it, buddy. The great Ira Kaufman, Joe Bucs Fan, joebucksfan.com. Go check them out. Support them. Support local guys. I talk about that all the time. They've always been so good to me. Got a lot of love for those guys. And, going back to the days, Wednesday at 4:00 with the big dog, Steve Dumig, and the flag waivers. We had so much fun in studio with the big dog. And you guys know me, man. Like I am a contributor to Pewter Report, and I do show a lot of love to the Tampa Bay Times. I do show a lot of love to Joe Bucs Fan and lightninginsider.com. Like, support local, man. That's what I'm all about here. I don't have any type of, allegiance to any one entity in particular. Like, that's what I do here. I'm loyal to the people that have always been loyal and always been good to me. And, everybody that covers sports here in the Tampa Bay area has always been so awesome to me. Mark Topkin of the Tampa Bay Times, or everything when it comes to the Rays. And it's not just interviews either, whether it was on DAE or here with me. It's just a text message or a phone call. And, again, Ira and Steve and Lee have been so great to me, and Scott and Matt and everybody at Pewter Report, and all the guys at Bucs Game Day with, Logan and now departed JC and River and all those guys. Like, they're just great people, man. Great people. We have a lot of awesome dudes. BRBK, man. Evan Klosky, Channel 10, Tampa Bay. Our guy David Deacon Sheely as well. Let's not forget, show some love to our sponsors here. Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC, 813-244-0956. Give him a call now. He can help you out all your residential and commercial needs. Excuse me. EverHealth injury report yesterday. Dr. Carlos Rodriguez. Excuse me. Doesn't get better than him. What a nice guy. Wayne Gonzalez Roofing. Again, Wayne lost his mom, and we send our thoughts and prayers, T's and P's out to his entire family as they go through this tough time. WayneGonzalezRoofing.com. And, of course, Salco Screens, 689-8252. Get that tickle in your throat, man. Right in the middle of talking, it just doesn't go away. I'm getting there. I'm dying here, Jeff Attinella. I'm dying here, bro. Let's bring him in. He's the best. Hold on. Let me make sure. All right, he's with us. He's here. He's the great USF Hall of Famer, Jeff Attinella.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going through right now.
I'm dying here, bro.
It is the worst. It's the worst.
Bro, it happened to me like a couple years ago. I was at DAE and I could not survive. I didn't know what was going on. What am I looking for?
Dude, on my bar, that's where you got to hit the cough button. That's where
I know. There ain't no cough button here. It's like, all right, you're going to listen to me cough, bitches. Right here, buddy.
Rowdies, baby.
This is how we roll. Bro, I don't even know.
Summer soccer here in Tampa. I'm not even going to lie.
Bro, you know what? You know what's funny, bro, is that you and I have we hoped, right? We hoped that it would be the summer of soccer here in the Tampa area, right? We just but I think sometimes, and you can definitely relate to this, sometimes it's is it just me being wishful? Is it just me just hoping something that is going to happen that really has no chance of happening? But you and I saw it for the Premier League mornings live, the craziness over there at Armature, both days. We have seen it with the Rowdies playing as well as they've played. We see it with the Stars playing so well across the country, all North America with Mbappe and Ronaldo and Messi and Haaland and Kane. And it's just incredible. And then, you just see it with the Team US. It really is the summer of soccer. I don't know if it could have gone any better so far.
So far, so good, man. I mean, I think that, it was funny. I just mentioned this on the Rowdies podcast. I was just working on a clip on it, but it's so true. It's as a soccer fan, right? You and I are soccer fans. That's how we met. You were the first person to reach out from DAE and say, hey, this guy knows ball and he's from Tampa. Let's talk a little bit of soccer with this guy. I was still out in Portland. And I think that the best thing that could possibly happen, or I think that what any soccer person is hoping for from this World Cup, is people fall in love with it, the culture of it, the idea of it. They start to get introduced to these superstars that are superstars on the world scale. And then, hey, to top it all off, if U.S. soccer can go on some type of run, captivate some people, inspire some people to get behind the game of soccer in this country, that's a huge win. Right? It's about how do we have that sticking power for soccer in this country from hosting this World Cup? And I think that that's the formula, and the way that it's played out. I mean, look up and down the Golden Boot race. It is every name that you could possibly want on a list competing to get the Golden Boot. You have a U.S. team that, I mean, I don't even last night for me, I thought last night was an insane positive of growth from U.S. soccer. You have a U.S. soccer team that they put an entire lineup of backups out there, and they should have won the game versus Turkey in a World Cup game. Yeah. When was the last time? The last time I saw a U.S. backup team compete against anybody, it's the Trinidads and the Guatemalas and the Hondurases, right. And those were really close games. No, I mean, no disrespect, but we're talking about two different types of level of competition.
No doubt. Yeah.
So you have a U.S. team that's incredibly deep. You can see the talent pool that they have. They're captivating the country. The home field advantage appears to be a very, very real thing for U.S. in this tournament. They get in a favorable draw. And the big stars are showing out and balling out, and people are falling in love with the game. So the hope is that it sticks. And, you never know how that's going to go in terms of the after effect of something like this. But I don't know. For some reason, this one just feels a little bit more different. And it just, I don't know. It's just exciting. And I hope that that excitement, sticks the way that it did after 94.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And I think it will. And especially with looking at some of the other sports now, baseball's really not hitting, and especially here locally, we're waiting for the stadium deal. There's a possible.
Well, there's a huge CBA thing. There's a huge CBA thing.
That don't help either, So, you're looking at the summer of soccer right now, and even watching that game last night, and I'm with you, watching backups in there and giving it all they have, and Trusty scoring the early one, and a lot of people are like, well, they lost, and I go, listen, Arda Güler he plays for Real Madrid. which is one of the greatest teams in the world. There's a reason why a kid from Turkey plays for Real Madrid, and he was the best player on the pitch last night. And it was just like, all right, if he played the way he did in the first 2 games, the U.S. probably wins that game 2-1 or 2-0. So you just got to tip your hat. I still think there needs to be more depth, right? But it's growing. Like, just the fact that you can bring guys on and then make that much of a difference. Like, I was so impressed with Weston McKennie last night. This was a guy that they were just so worried about. Is he ever going to take conditioning seriously? Is he ever going to keep his head? Is he ever going to be conditioned? Probably played 85 minutes in a game last night. He really didn't need to play. He wasn't getting involved in any of the BS. He was helping out the defense that was clearly not at the same level as the starters. And then, he made some positive runs on the offensive side, and then he went off the pitch. And I was just like, man, like, the trust that Mauricio Pochettino has in him, how important is that? We want to see that, Jeff. We want to see the best players be the best players, but you also need, kind of that. You need the best players and also the head coach to be on the same page. And it seems like whether it's Weston or whether it's Christian, that vibe right now is good with Pochettino.
To me, that was like the main thing that I didn't like about Berhalter. And I think that Berhalter was an important part of getting the team evolution to where it is now, right? Like when Berhalter took the team over, they weren't playing the game. They were defend, counter, try to use athleticism. That's how we're going to beat teams. He came in and tried to start playing the world's game, right? So he was the first rendition of that. What I didn't like about Berhalter was that he had a team full of players that surpassed him immensely in terms of like his ability or his level as a coach, his level as a player. And, when you have that type of dynamic and you have these guys that are playing for the biggest clubs, you need a coach that's been around that. You need a coach that knows how to blend it all together and get people to really buy in and do what you're seeing on the field right now. And for me, no matter what happens in the knockout stages, he is the best hire that U.S. soccer, I think, from a coaching perspective, has ever made. The way that he's embraced American culture and had fun with it. You see all these clips of him talking about country music, Chick-fil-A, crying for the national anthem.
Right.
And he's very upfront that he's not American, but he's like, listen, I love it. He's like, I love it. And I'm going to give everything I have for this team. He's somebody that's coached the best players. He's coached Mbappe. He's coached Messi. Like, he knows what it is to be at this level. And he also knows, hey, he also played for Argentina, kind of a big deal. He also knows what it is to represent a national team and give everything you have. And I think that what you're seeing right now is a product of a coach that challenged a group of players that hadn't been challenged in a really long time. And you're seeing a team that has come together and bought all the way into the fact that he's trying to get them to believe that it's not good enough just to get out of the group. It's not good enough to win a knockout game. Like, we are America. We're trying to win this thing. That's what he's instilled in these guys. And I think that you're seeing that in the way that they play. And for me, he's been, with all the players and everything, for me, he's been the star of the World Cup, because I think everything that he's done has just been tremendous for the sport here. And I think what he's done with the national team has shaped the way that they even go about their business on a game-to-game basis.
Yeah, I think Pochettino's been absolutely incredible. And you're right. Coaching those big-time personalities, even though it didn't work out great at PSG, certainly helped him with this experience with the U.S. And I also think his experience coaching Tottenham, getting them all the way to the Champions League final against Liverpool, where everybody was just kind of waiting for them to fall. And it was us against the world mentality time and time and time again. Like, he can use both of those experiences with the guys in the red, white, and blue. So you're right, man. I incredible hire for Team USA, an absolute star, and love how he's embraced not just the team, but not even just the soccer culture, but the culture of this country. Looking at this team going forward, and you're going against Bosnia-Herzegovina, is there anything about this that worries you going into the group stage at 32, based on how they're playing, based on how the U.S. is playing? What's your big takeaway before we get into that game on July 1st?
They do what Paraguay and Australia try to do, but they do it better.
Yeah,
they're better at it, and they went and played a berth in the World Cup on the line versus Italy and executed the same exact game plan of defending, counterattack, try to get at them, and rode it all the way to a tie to made it to penalties. Right. So they know what it is to play that style of soccer in a game that means everything. And they've been playing for their life since March, because they had to beat Wales to move on. They had to beat Italy to move on. And then, of course, they had to get results in their group to make it out of their group stage to get where they are. So it's one of those things where it just worries me, because you've had a team that has kind of had their backs against the wall for months now. And you know how that is when a team is used to playing that way. You see it in baseball all the time. You know what I mean? The team that had to get hot in September to make it to October ends up winning the whole thing because they've been playing that style the entire time. So that concerns me a little bit, but at the same time, it's a matchup that if you got this matchup, if you said, hey, U.S. is going to play Bosnia in the round of 32, would you take it? Yeah, of course you're going to take it. You know what I mean? Like, of course you're going to take it. So, you know, they play a defensive style. They want to catch you on the counter. They have good athletes. They have good players, and they've been playing in a way that, you know, it's been do or die for them for a long time. But, you know, at the end of the day, the U.S. is going to have the best players on the field. They're going to collectively be the better team, and they have the home field advantage, which I didn't know how much home field advantage was going to mean. But when you look at LA, when you look at Seattle, I mean, this home field advantage is legit, and it is very real. So I think that all these things combined will be good for the U.S. And, dude, honestly, man, like my optimism is just like getting more and more with every day that goes by because I'm watching these other teams play, and I'm like, you know what? I don't see why we couldn't play with this team. Like, I don't see what about us makes it so we can't compete with some of the best teams in the world, you know? So it's just like, I don't know, man, I'm starting to get it, man. I'm starting to get a little bit optimistic.
I hear you, brother. And I'm with you, man. Cause like a lot of people asking me like, you know, what about this and what about that? And then I'm like, cause I don't just, and like you, I don't just watch the US games, and nobody's really blowing me away. Like in the first game, I thought England was like, oh, but they did give up 2. And then the second game against Ghana, I was like, oh man, not having the wingers, like, you know, not having Saka starting and Rashford starting and not having Cole Palmer and Phil Foden. I'm just like, I don't know, that didn't really blow me away. I think Brazil is a team to me with Carlo Ancelotti. They're like Neymar's back now. Casemiro's coming off an incredible year with Manchester United. So is Cunha, Vinicius Jr. I think he's a guy that's like, I'm going to play better away from Real Madrid because it's kind of Mbappe's team now. I really like what I've seen from Brazil. They have 2 of the top 3 or 5 goalies in the league with Allison and also Ederson. So it's like, that's a team I'm like, oh, and then you never know with Portugal and Argentina and like these big time scores. You know, Norway is one of those teams that they can make the semis just because you have Erling Haaland and it can be a problem. And let's not forget Edin Dzeko for Bosnia. Like this guy, I feel like he's been playing since you probably played against Edin Dzeko. He's like 48 years old, which is kind of crazy. I put something out the other day about Alexi Lawless, and it got a lot of attention about his coverage for soccer, because I feel like at times he's too much of a hot take artist, and you know, he likes to run down the team sometimes when I think it's not necessary. And people want to compare him to Charles Barkley. You need those type of personalities. Like, I don't know, like anybody's going to get fired up at a freaking, you know, a watch party, right? But I just don't know what he brings to the table. And you've seen him for many, many years. I'd much rather see a Zlatan and Thierry Henry, or a Thiago Alcantara, or Rebecca Lowe with Rob Stone and Clint Dempsey. What's your take on kind of Alexi Lawless and how he goes about his business?
I mean, I think that he's carved out a good niche for himself, right? Like that's kind of, that's not wrong. We used to go in all these meetings all the time, and you know, so much of these MLS meetings were about beforehand, like the PA meetings and things like that were about, you know, capitalizing on your brand, recognizing what your brand is and leaning into it. And he was always the example, right? He was the guy that was like, you know, this is a guy that wasn't the best player on the field whenever he played, but he was on the national team. He had a look about him. People fell in love with him, and then he leaned into it and, you know, built a whole career off of it. So I think that he has a niche, you know, but I also think that I don't mind him half the time, you know, half the time he has takes that people disagree with that I actually agree with. And the other half, I think that he's just saying things just to say them, which is kind of what you see from now, which is what you see sometimes. But I think it's probably, you know, it's probably time to, you know, cycle a little bit. It's probably time to cycle a little bit. You know what I mean? Because like, I still think that, you know, there's people from that 94 group that, again, zero disrespect when I say this, but like, there's just people from that 94 group that always just seem to have like that bitter, they just always seem a little bit bitter. And it's like, I don't think that we need the voices of US soccer to be really bitter right now. I think it needs to be something where it's like, hey, like things are changing, the systems are changing. It's very different from what you had back in the day. Either embrace it and like champion it, because that's what we need. Or it's like, you know, I think that shtick might have run its course a little bit. But you know, I always think it is funny when he's on the stage, on these big stages with these types of guys, because like you see it pretty quickly. Like they sniff it out pretty quickly, and they make a point to make sure that, people understand that they don't necessarily agree with what's being said.
Before we move on to my favorite soccer team, who's the one player to watch for Team USA in that group of 32, Mitch?
Tyler Adams. I've been saying that all. I've been saying that all tournament. For me, he's the most important player on the field because when you play the way that Pochettino wants to play, right, you're sending numbers forward, you're pressing, you might have two center backs in at a time. Tyler Adams has to be that guy that he's either fouling to stop transition or he is putting out transitions. Like, you need him to be the best six that you could possibly be. And I think for the first two games, you saw that. Last night, we didn't really have a six in. And three goals right down the middle. I think that Berhalter was a little bit stitched up defensively. Like, I'd like to see him, if he gets inserted into games, I think that he should be more of an attacking mindset and not somebody that has to like fill in as a defensive mid necessarily for this group. But for me, he's the most important player on the field. And if he has good games, then you're not going to see much happening in the opposite direction for teams that want to do transition.
Yeah, I love Tyler Adams. That's the jersey I have. I was kind of figuring out, like, if I played soccer, that I'd probably be a 6 because I play defense in hockey, and I feel like I would not be tall enough for a center back, not fast enough to be outside it, but a 6, I think it makes a lot of sense. And I'm with you, Sebastian Berhalter. I saw a lot from him so far. Does he need to go play in Europe? Because he's playing for Vancouver right now, and we just talk about the importance of it. And Jurgen Klinsmann, a lot of people are not happy. Oh, yeah, they got to go play in Europe. And I was like, all right, well, now look at all these guys playing for Juventus, AC Milan, and Anto, and, Jedi, and Tyler Adams, and Chris Richards, performing really well in the Premier League. Is it time for Sebastian Berhalter? He's 25. I feel like next World Cup, he'll be 29. Like, he's got to go play in Europe somewhere because I feel like he's tough. You saw the goal last night. Poch throws him in there to kind of settle the game down off the bench. Like, he can do a lot of different things. I agree. I think he's more of an 8 than probably a 6. But does he need to go to Europe to really, get himself ready for the next World Cup?
I mean, I think that there's that argument can go a couple different ways, right? Like, Messi plays in the MLS. He's going to win the Golden Boot. He's the best player in the world. So I think that debate can go a couple different ways. I do think, though, that there are a lot of guys on this U.S. nationals team that viewed this World Cup as this is going to be my launch pad into what's going to elevate me to the next level. Because you're going to see some of these U.S. guys tied to some really big clubs when this tournament's over, because that's just always how it happens with the World Cup. And, with his performance last night, probably with like what he's going to do entering into games, it wouldn't shock me that his opportunities are better after this World Cup.
Yeah, no
doubt. And, as much as I hate to say it, the nature of the beast with the MLS is it depends on what his contract looks like, and it depends on the price tag that MLS wants to put on him. Because, if they max out his price tag, he's stuck in Vancouver. so it's not really his say. So it's like, they'll get it done because he's a Berhalter. But at the end of the day, I think that this World Cup's going to be a launch pad for a lot of guys. And I think that Berhalter is somebody that could probably capitalize on that.
Yeah, I'm hoping Jedi Man United is something I've been throwing out into the atmosphere for the last 3 years. I'm hoping that it happens.
I mean, there's a few guys, man. Like, there's a few guys that are going to be getting called on by big clubs from this U.S. team. It's going to be something that'll be pretty cool. I think the ripple effect of this.
Yeah, to see Flo Balogun too.
If he puts in 2 more, if he puts in another goal or 2, his phone's going to be blowing up.
No doubt about it. All right, let's talk about our Rowdies. I was there in Brooklyn. 2 goals early on to see Russell Cicerone score, and then MD. I mean, this team, man, there's just so many different guys that can beat you, and it just seems like the vibes are really good right now. The Cabo Verde guys are there too. I feel like that's kind of rubbing off on both sides. Dom has just done such an incredible job. Like, what is the vibe right now in the building with everybody? With, of course, you pick up your first loss of the year, but the team bounces right back. And they just seem like everybody understands their role, and whoever gets an opportunity on the pitch is making the most of it.
Yeah, I think that it's everybody's bought in, man. And Dom's done such a good job of bringing in the right pieces, bringing in the right players, but also the right people.
Right.
Because the way that the team's been playing, there's some good guys that haven't been getting a ton of minutes because they've been having so much success. But you go out to the training sessions, and every training session is still extremely competitive. He's able to rotate that roster quite a bit in terms of the lineup and getting different guys minutes and still getting results. And at the end of the day, I think that this is a team that's come together and still recognizes that they have a lot to improve on, right? So I sat down with him and interviewed him for the podcast this week. If you guys want to check it out, it was a good conversation with him. But, I asked him on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how would you rate the beginning of the season and what are things that you think you could like move forward and work on? And he said it was pretty much an 8 out of 10. And he's like, but at the same time, like, the game that they lost, they dealt with a team that packed it in and had a good goalkeeper. And you have to learn how to break teams down like that if you're going to be the best team in the league, because more teams are going to get that formula. But at the same time, man, I wanted to see what it was like when they got punched in the face, and they got punched in the face twice. That Charleston game, they were losing. They were able to get that goal back at the death, and then they lost that game versus Hartford. And for me, it was like the perfect time to lose because you had one more game before your break. They got punched in the face, and instead of just folding and saying like, oh, man, like we're the streak's over and blah, 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 it was no, like we're going to get back to business. We went on the road, got a shutout, got a 2-0 win. Their big time players scored with Myers and Cicerone. And it was just like, okay, business as usual. We're back. So I think that there's a lot to that with the Rowdies group as well. And it's pretty comparable to what you're seeing with the U.S. team, honestly. Just guys that are really bought into the system that the coach wants to play.
What about Leland Archer, man? Good to see him out there. I mean, obviously missing the beginning, but I mean, just being in the stands there in Brooklyn, I'm like, my dad was like, man, look how big that guy is. He was huge out there.
Yeah, I'm happy for Leland. He was working really hard to get himself back from injury too. And he's someone, whenever somebody's injured, I'll walk up to him and just be like, hey, where's your headspace? Like, are you good?
Right.
And he was somebody that always kept his head about him. And, now he has an opportunity to get himself into the lineup. And, he was a big signing for the Rowdies this offseason. Yeah. So he's just a huge addition. He's almost like a midseason signing that we didn't have to make. So it's exciting to see him back there. But, really it's a testament to what he was able to do during the rehab process and keep his head about him, because that's not always easy.
All right, so we have a watch party at Al Lang, right?
Yes, sir. 7-1.
Cannot wait for that. Rowdies partner again with PNB Events, Michelob Ultra for round of 32 USA Soccer Watch Party at Al Lang. Tickets $10. Portion of the proceeds benefiting Ocean Aid 360. The summer of soccer continues at Al Lang, and then a big 4th of July celebration as well. It's kind of like a tradition, right? For the Rowdies, they're hosting Lexington, and this is something that you guys take very, very seriously, isn't it, Jeff? Like, celebrating Thunderstick giveaway for the first 2,000 fans, so it's going to be loud as heck. But it's going to be fun, man. July 1st, July 4th at Al Lang Stadium, huh?
Yeah, man, it's going to be an awesome week. We did this a couple weeks back where it was just like, it seemed like bam, 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 event, and it was a lot of fun. So obviously, come down to Al Lang for that watch party. It'll be fun. And I'm already been told that I could tell people that if we win that game, there's going to be another one for the next one. So just expect to be at Al Lang quite a bit here if US keeps rolling. So we got that watch party on the Wednesday. And then, like you said, man, big game on the weekend, 4th of July. It's kind of been a Rowdies staple, a Rowdies tradition since they started the franchise. So, come down to Al Lang, enjoy a little bit of soccer. And then, of course, there'll be fireworks and all that good stuff after the game. They're shooting them off from the pier. I think it's like $1 hot dogs, cheap beer, cheap soda, cheap water. Like, just come down. It's a fun family event. The team's playing well. And then, anytime there's fireworks, people love the fireworks. So it'll be a good celebration.
They certainly do. Rowdiesoccer.com, all the information there. If we're talking soccer, we're doing it with our good pal, Jeff Attinella. Jeff, appreciate you, my brother. We will talk to you again soon. Have a good rest of your weekend, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate you having me on, man. Always a pleasure.
Yes, sir. The great Jeff Attinella, USF Hall of Famer. Rowdies, this guy does it all. He's the best. Love him, man. Such a great dude. All right, guys. We'll see how this works with Phil. I'm telling you, we'll see how it works with Phil. He's gonna put this. The thing is like his front-facing camera wasn't working, so he had to like do it and flip his camera around. We'll see. It's a Hall of Fame type show, but Hall of Fame dudes on the show: Jeff Attinella, Ira Kaufman. And don't forget to show some love to Honest Hammer Custom Builders, LLC, for all your residential and commercial needs. 813-244-0956, thehonesthammer.com. Shoot them an email, thehonesthammer@gmail.com. Kitchen renovations, bathroom renovations, they do it all. They do it all for you. It's absolutely incredible what they are able to do for your home. They won the big award for the best custom build under $1 million. And it's just, he's such a good guy, Russ, Hammer, whatever you want to call him. And he's been with us since the beginning. So can't say enough nice things about our guy, Honest Hammer. He is the best. EverHealth, the EverHealth Injury Report with Dr. Carlos Rodriguez. yesterday on the program every Thursday at 12:30. We had a really good discussion about hydration yesterday. Water, pickle juice, mustard packets, Gatorades, and all that stuff. That was really, really good stuff. That's up on the channel. Everhealth.org, 17 different locations in Pinellas County. Go get it right now. Go get it right now. Go get it right now. They can help you out. Sliding scale for the uninsured. They take all kinds of insurance. They are just absolutely incredible. Love them. Absolutely love them. And then, of course, Wayne Gonzalez Roofing. Man, our heart goes out to Wayne Gonzalez, his mom, who just passed. Man, just so sad. Such a great family. Wayne, Steven Gonzalez. WayneGonzalezRoofing.com. Go to the website now for all your roofing needs. 813-653-2279. Roofing with a conscience since 1981. Free estimates, all different kinds of roofs. They can certainly help you out. Do a little bit of everything. And then Salco Screens, 813-689-8252, salcotb.com, locally and family owned for over 40 years. The Saladino family. You see Saladino baseball tournament logo. That's always in the top corner of the show right here. Yeah, they mean the world to me. I love the Saladino family. You guys know, to be able to speak at Tony Sr.'s funeral is probably one of the proudest moments of my entire life, to be able to do that with my good friend Joe Urso and Jim Macaluso. It's just incredibly humbling that they would ask me to speak during that time. And just the family just means the world to me. It really does. Keeping an eye on the King of the Ring tomorrow in Saudi Arabia. Going to be fantastic. Cannot wait for that. We'll see who will get on board there. All right. We'll wait till he sets up and gets it all ready to roll. My guy Phil. And make sure that he's set up and nice and comfortable there. But yeah, make sure you guys will follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. I am ready to roll. Whatever you guys need from me, I got you. Just make sure you follow me on social media. All right, let's bring him in. It's our good pal, the Hockey Hall of Famer, Phil Esposito. Hey, Phil, how we doing over there?
Pretty good, Jay. Can you see me?
No, not yet. You got to flip it around, partner.
I flipped it around. I don't understand.
Oh.
Okay. I can't see me now. Can you?
The video disappeared. What happened to it?
I don't know, Jay. You know me. Wait a minute. Now, what do I press here? I see you.
Yeah, press the little video button on there. There should be a camera on there.
It's got a cross through it.
Yeah, click on it. There we go.
Okay. You
I can
see
see
me?
Yeah, I can.
Why is it so small?
Is that the front camera?
Yeah.
Holy crap. So there you go, Phil. It only worked when you went live with me. How about that, partner?
Okay, and how do I get it bigger?
You could just turn it sideways.
Now you're gone.
All right, just keep it straight up and down then. That's fine. Either way works.
Come on. What the? It says try again, and I'm pressing it, but something went wrong.
It's okay. You're doing good. You're doing better than I thought, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's all right. We'll make it work. We will make it work. All right. Did you flip it back up and down? Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. Let's add that one instead. Okay. There we go.
It's just circling, Jay. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Shit, man.
You're good. You're good. I got you. You're good.
Jay?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Crap-a-rooski. How about me? Can you hear me?
You there?
Yeah, I'm there. You can hear me? Hello. We're working on it.
I'll try again, I guess. I can't hear you.
Okay, buddy. Try again.
This is ridiculous.
We're getting there.
You there?
Yeah, you're there. Can you hear me?
You're in the show. Everyone can see you and hear you. but I don't hear anybody.
N-
I see you, but I don't see myself again.
That's okay. Can you hear me at
But I
all?
can't hear you, Jay. I
No.
cannot hear you.
Dang it. All right, hold on.
Oh, what happened there?
You hear me?
What did you press?
Nothing. Anything?
Let me try. Should I go and try all over again? Okay, bye.
We're gonna work it. We're gonna get it, baby. We're gonna get it. We're working on it. We're gonna get it. We got to stay with it. This is what we're gonna do. And I know, Louis, tell him to unmute his mic. It wasn't his mic that was unmuted for some. The thing is that Phil's thing is hooked up to his hearing aids too, so I think that could be a problem. Let's try it again. Bring him on. Phil, can you hear me?
There you are.
Good.
But
Got
I
me?
don't hear you.
Ah, crap.
Why can't I hear you now?
Hold on. Can you turn up the microphone?
Don't hear you, don't see you.
No, can't hear me either. Hold on. Still nothing? Technology.
Sorry, man.
It's okay, partner. Is your audio connected to another Bluetooth device in the room? Dang it, man. We were so close. We were working on the video before, and dang it, man. We were on the phone for an hour before. We could just do the call. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe we can do we'll try this one more time. Phil.
There.
Yes, you got me.
Can you got me?
Yes. Are we good?
I guess. I'm not going to touch it anymore. I'm not going to touch the damn thing.
Phil,
God, I hate this.
Is this the first time you've ever done a video thing on your own at your house?
Yes.
And you know that means the world to me, brother, because I know with a lot of other people, you would have said, "F it, F it."
But you know what made me realize, because my daughter keeps asking me to send her things and all that.
Yeah.
That I am going to buy a laptop now, and I'm going to learn how to do it. And Jay, you're going to teach me.
I knew that was coming. Ira Kaufman sends his best. He says hello.
My buddy Ira.
That crazy son of a gun. And so does Deandra. So Deandra says hello.
Good.
And also,
we got to all go out and have a couple of drinks together.
Definitely. And then mom and dad are watching from New York, and they send their love as well.
Cool. Terrific.
So they're all doing well. So how you been, man? How's the summer been without the hockey?
Well, it's never without the hockey. I mean, it really isn't. It's never been that way with me for my whole life. Mm-hmm. It's always been about the hockey, no matter what. And you listen to, I listen to a lot of the XM show with the hockey channel all the time. And when I'm in my car, sometimes I get completely pissed off about some stupid things some of these hosts say. But, you listen, and I mean, it's amazing how you don't hear much about the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Right.
It really blows me away. I mean, we won 2 in a row.
Right.
We won 3 in 3 decades. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not very many teams have done that. And it's always about the Florida Panthers, and God bless them and good for them.
Right.
But every time we won, 2004, we win. The next year, there's a lockout. Can't take advantage of the Stanley Cup win. Mm-hmm. Then you win during the pandemic about the bullshit that was betrayed upon this country.
Right.
And you don't take advantage of that. And the next one you win, it's still there, which was the bullshit. And you really can't take advantage. Then you go to the finals again. And we lose our top scorer in Braden Point in that finals. Nobody talks about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. I always bug people at the Lightning. I say, why don't you have some interns or somebody call up and talk about the Lightning? Gee, nobody ever calls from the Tampa Bay area
Right.
up to that station.
Yeah.
It never does.
Yeah.
Yet we have the most loyal fans,
We do.
don't we? It's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's and Braden. Listen, Braden Point is the guy that people have been talking about a lot this year, Phil. And your heart breaks for the guy because he tried so hard to come back and play for Canada in the Olympics. And I saw him, after one of the playoff games, and his knee was all bandaged up. Do you think about trading a guy like Braden Point? Do you think that next year is going to be different? Like, where's your take on him right now going into next season?
Well, right now, going into next season, you pencil him as your number one centerman.
Right.
You do. And he and Cooch got something, chemistry together, always have. And there was no doubt that Point was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You could see it. We could see it up in the booth.
Yep.
You knew it, and I knew it.
Yep.
And he wasn't himself. He wasn't skating like he normally does. And without his skating ability, it takes away from his game. There's no doubt about that. And it affected him. Now, you got this kid Riley coming, apparently.
Yep.
And if you look at the center ice situation the Lightning have right now, without Riley, it's Point, Cicerelli, and who's third? Dominic James.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Isn't he?
Yeah.
And fourth is Yanni Gord.
Mm-hmm.
So O'Reilly comes in, and everybody's talking about how good this guy is, and he's going to be in the NHL, and whether it's next year or the year after, he's going to be here. So where's he going to play? And you think about, you got Connor Geeky, you got Nicky Paul, all guys that are centermen, and actually Nick Paul was our best face-off man.
That's your guy, man. That's your guy.
Yeah, I do like him. I like Nick a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought he should be in front of the net in the power play, but that's another story. But where are they going to play?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go someplace else. You got Kucherov and Point, say. Who's going to play left wing with them? They've tried Gonsalves. They've tried all sorts of guys because you got Hagel and Sorelli. So let's assume they trade Braden Point. They're going to get quite a bit for him.
Right.
What are they going to get? Do they need a centerman? Personally, I don't think so. You move Riley. Move Riley there.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a rookie, but he's got to maintain that. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, Cicerelli is really a good player. He's a solid guy. Hagel's a better goal scorer. He's a solid guy. Do you put Hagel with, say, Riley? But who do you get back for Braden Point?
Yeah, exactly.
You always needed a right winger who could shoot the puck on that left side. Bjorkstrand just can't do it. Never has been able to do it. So that's out. So there's holes to fill. One thing I like about the Lightning is their defense.
Right.
Very solid with the defense. And people ask me, why would they trade Radish in their own division? Radish was going. They did Radish a favor by signing him and sending him to give him another extra year, which isn't going to happen next year, as you know, with the CBA. And so they did him a favor. Right. And that's where Radish wanted to go. And he told him, I'm going to go free agency, and here's what I'm getting from Toronto. And I know I can get it because they've already talked. So what do you want to do? So they sign him and then trade him. They get a 5th round pick, but they do Darren a favor and get him an extra year. As far as people say, well, they didn't do themselves any good. He was leaving anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
if
he was going to Toronto.
Yeah, and if he's going to be what, Phil? He's going to be 38 by the time that deal's done. So, I mean, it could be a little bit of a poison pill too, if he doesn't play so well at 37 and 38. Now, one of your division rivals has $8.5 million tied up in a defenseman that they don't want. So,
well,
I think there's a lot of good things that come out of that for the Lightning.
Jay, I like Darren Radish personally. I think he's a good guy, and he had one good year. You and I both know this.
Yeah,
and
buddy.
Deandra, we talked about it upstairs. He was one game away from going on waivers and sending to the minors when Hedman, whatever happened to him,
Right.
And so he got an opportunity. And he's good on the power play. I'm not going to deny that. He can shoot the puck. Yes, he can. But it seems to me that power play's got to be different nowadays because of the block shots. There's no time to take it, wind up in that big slap shot. Not all the time. Once in a while you get the time. It's the quick wrist shots to the net with the deflections, with the rebounds and things like that. Just get it on the net. And you know me, I keep saying, just shoot the puck, shoot the stinking puck.
You're right. And that's why Sergachev was so good a couple of years ago and why they put him on there instead of Victor Hedman. And, I wonder too, Phil, with Radish going to Toronto, I mean, let's not forget, he has arguably the best passer in the game feeding him for a lot of those, right? And you have a good power play there, but it's a lot different because Nylander and Austin Matthews are two guys that love to shoot the puck themselves. So does Radish have that same kind of success in that type of power play? That remains to be seen. I want to ask you about the Lightning power play. Did they need to change? Because you and I, we watch a lot, and you watch the Rangers, you watch the Oilers, you watch Colorado, you watch these three teams on the power play, and it's constant, not just puck movement, but player movement. And then you have the Lightning, and it's like those five guys are going to stay in those five spots, and they're just going to try to move the puck around, bing, 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 bing. And against really good penalty killers that pressure the puck carrier. And, if you don't have a guy like number 91 shooting on the opposite side of Nikita Kucherov, I mean, you'll have success against bad teams, but you're going to really struggle against teams with a good penalty kill. Do they need to change the way that they do their power play? And maybe kind of like what you said with Nick Paul, and go back to a little bit of an old school, get a guy in front of the net trying to screen the goalie and work on tips. I feel like they have to kind of turn back the clock a little bit on the power play. What do you think?
I think the movement is stagnant. There's no movement. And when you have no movement, it's easy to defend. And if the guys have got to move around, Cooch goes over there on the right side and he holds onto the puck. He's trying to make a pass. He's always trying to make a perfect pass. Sometimes he really needs the opportunity and should shoot more, which would open up a little bit. But the other guys are stagnant. They're just standing there. They're not moving in and out, up and down, whatever. Remember in the playoffs this year with Vegas when what was number 48 for Vegas?
Hurdle.
He was in that slot on a power play, and I believe it was Marner. Was in the corner. Hurdle was in close to the net. He backed out just past the hash marks. As soon as he did that, the puck was on his stick and bingo, was in the net. That's how I played. That's where I scored a ton of goals from that area. But you can't just stand there. You got to move a little bit, move in, move out, move to the side, move around. That guy on the left side now, like power plays, they're all with the opposite and the one-timers and all this other stuff because everybody blocks shots now because the equipment is so damn good, for crying out loud. They look like RoboCops, in that movie. And so you got to move. Guys should go around the net. No moves a lot, Getzel.
Yeah, he does.
Getzel moves. And I think that's why he gets a lot of goals, because he moves around. right in points playing, he is standing off to the corner and he's standing there. In the first place, he's too small to go in front of the net. I
Right.
got it. They'll push him out of the way. They'll move him. You need a bigger guy there who can stand his ground.
Right.
That's why I always considered Nicky Paul that guy. Plus, Nick's got pretty good hands.
Mm-hmm.
So it always struck me as why they never used him. And they did a couple of years ago or a
Yeah,
year
early
ago
on.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They never used him anymore. And I don't know. It always seems like Nicky gets the short end of the stick. And he's never ever said anything to me about it.
No.
I don't even talk to him very much. I see him once or twice in a restaurant. And we
Mm-hmm.
say hi, and that's it. We never talk hockey. I just tell him, you got a great shot. Would you shoot a little bit more?
I think all the guys know that's you're famous for telling them to shoot the freaking
Well,
pill, man.
think about this, Jay, and you've heard me say this.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Hull said this to me in my first year in 1963.
Oh my gosh.
He says, when you get to the top of the face-off circles, to the dots, to the net, it's like a funnel. You should be thinking shoot first, pass second.
Right.
Unless there was nobody around that you can 100% sure got that pass through.
Mm-hmm.
And you should think about shooting with the other guy going for a rebound. And I've told Nicky Paul that. I've told other guys that.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you see the top of the face-off circle, it's automatic. Think shoot. If a guy's blocking it, that's a different story.
Yeah.
And the way they are now, they block the lanes. I understand that. It's different. So you can't hesitate. You can't get to the top of the face-off circle. One stride, you're at the dot.
Yeah.
You say, oh, should I pass or should I not? No. You got to make up your mind and do it. You can't hesitate. Not in this game anymore.
No, you can't. The game's so freaking fast. When's the last time? I mean, one of the things that we always talk about is Nikita Kucherov. He hates speaking to the media. You really don't see him all that much. When's the last time you've been around Cooch or talked to Cooch? And what are those conversations like? Because it's about hockey and nothing else when it comes to 86.
The last time was at the getting to know party at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And he was standing. All the guys were sort of messing around down by my left as you look at me. And there was Cooch. So I moseyed on up to him and I said, how you doing, Coochie? He says, pretty good. I mean, he speaks perfect English.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I says, your wife here tonight? He says, no. He has to take care of the kids or something, the kids or whatever. And I looked at him and I says, you know what? When I played, I was one big powder. If I didn't get the puck to a certain place, I pouted. But you, my friend, are the king of powders.
Oh my God! Did he know what you meant?
He looked at me. I said, you get pouty-wouty. You get pissed off. I did too. But when I came to the bench, if I was anywhere near Bobby Orr, Wayne Cashman, Kenny Hodge, or Johnny Busick, or even Derek Sanderson, they'd say, what the F is wrong with you, you piece of shit? Get yourself going. What's wrong with you?
Right.
And you look at them and you tell them to F off and all that, but they get you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I says, does anybody ever tell you that? He says, no. And I sort of like, whoa, are they afraid to talk to him? And I think what it is, maybe they're afraid to do that because he'll go further into a shell. Maybe he will.
Right. Yeah.
But maybe it's time we tried the other way.
Yeah. You're right.
Hey, I don't know.
Do you think that's something they lose with Stammer not being there?
Yeah. Victor Hedman's a great guy, but I don't think Victor would go up to Cooch and say, get your ass in gear, man. Let's go. I don't know. Right. I hope I'm wrong, They can prove me wrong. I'd love it. But I think Stamkos did.
Yeah.
I don't know why I think Stammer did. Because he believed that.
Yeah. I think there was a respect there, right? I mean, Cooch loves.
Well, different personalities
yeah,
too,
of course.
eh?
Of course. You got that right, my friend. Are you surprised the Lightning haven't done anything in the offseason yet?
Yeah, I am. But don't have many draft picks. But we sure have a lot of good young defensemen.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of good young centers.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the two things that everybody seems to want.
It seems like a deal is out there, right, Phil? Like it feels like
It
the
does.
way that this team is constructed, and especially think about it, you just said the defensemen, they want to play left, right. We know that. You got Crozier now and Chernak. That's it. And now you have Moser, you got Hedman, you got McDonough, you got Lilleberg, and you got Charlie Wardess too. You got 7 defensemen.
And you got Carlisle.
And you got Carlisle.
And don't you underestimate that kid, I'll tell you right now.
And he played with Team USA in the World Championships. All right, so you have 8 guys for 6 spots, right? And, and you have 6 lefties and 2 righties. Like, that's where the balance to me is a little off. And like you said, like, what happens next year when everybody's healthy? Because you're probably going to go get somebody maybe in free agency. You got to help do something on the power play. So I feel like we're in line for a trade at some point. If they were to trade, it is what position? And it's tough to kind of look at the player, but what position are you looking for? Are you really looking for a left wing that's a right-handed shot?
Jay, in the first place, it doesn't matter. The greatest defensemen of all time were left-hand shots played right side.
Right. Okay.
Guys like Bobby Orr.
Mm-hmm.
But guys like Dennis Potvin could play both ways, any side. Larry Robinson could play any side. Brad Park played the right side. Great defenseman. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Is it more difficult or is it not more difficult? I would imagine it's more difficult picking up the puck.
Off the boards, yeah.
Off the boards, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to be on. But the thing is, if you think about this game nowadays, you don't see very many backhand passes.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
The guy turns his stick, you got to go forehand.
Yeah.
If a guy can backhand pass and get it, because you see the backhand pass, you can't go as hard and as fast as the forehand pass. And the way the guys are so quick nowadays, I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm not sure, but unless you're really quick like Bobby Orr was so quick, it was a different story. But Larry Robinson, Serge Savard, Guy Lapointe, Hall of Famers that could play both the left and right. Dennis Potvin, Brad Park. I can go on and name a bunch of them. Like when we watched Quint Hughes in the playoffs. He can go left side. He can play right side.
Right.
And probably Lane Hudson was another one we watched. Right side, left side. Probably could do both. Mm-hmm. So I know that Coop and his coaching staff like left, right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have that, find the guy that's most comfortable doing it on the opposite side.
Yeah, I think Moser can do it, right? I mean,
exactly.
He showed that.
I think Moser can do it, but they love Moser playing with a certain guy.
Yeah. That's a good
But they did with Radish, right?
Yeah.
So
that's another thing about the Radish thing, right? That's another thing about the Radish thing people don't talk about. Is like he played with a guy like JJ Moser, who really is a solid defenseman, and he was brought in to play with Victor Hedman. So you know how highly that the Lightning thought of him when they brought him into the organization.
So if Victor's going to play, Moser plays the right side with him.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Yeah. And then you have the other guys. You have Chernak, McDonough. They are such a great pair killing penalties.
Yeah, they are.
It's insane, you know. Mm-hmm. And then you have Crozier, Lilleberg, who's coming on.
Yeah.
And then you got Carlisle and Dust too.
It's like, we just play 8 defensemen and 3 lines of forwards. Do something different, right?
And who the hell knew that Stu could play as well as he did,
He's a good
or
player.
Dominic James could do as
Yeah.
well as he did.
He's a good
And
freaking
those
player.
are good things that the Lightning staff or scouting
Mhm.
staff and Brisebois did. Julian's a great general manager.
Yeah.
Trust me on that. Because I did it for a lot of years and it's not easy. But
Mhm.
he is a real good general manager. Sometimes, maybe, does he play it too safe sometimes? Because our team is still a damn good team.
Mhm.
We're just lacking a couple of little things. We got one of the great goaltenders of all time.
Right.
Think about it. Our goalie won, our coach won, our right winger won,
Yeah.
Kucherov. All these great awards.
Mhm.
They're still around and they're still here.
Yep.
And I don't know. Vasilevsky gives you everything he's got.
Yeah, he does.
We need Johansson
Mhm.
to be a better and play 20 games, 25 games this year coming up. And he's got to win 13 of them or 14 of them.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
He was
saying?
good. He wasn't good
Okay.
last year, and he was better
Some,
the year before. He was when he
yeah.
was bad. He was really bad last year too. He gave up a ton
Well,
of goals.
sometimes. I
Yeah.
mean, he played well in a couple of games,
Mhm.
but yeah, he wasn't as solid as he was the year before. There's no doubt about that. And you don't want him getting too comfortable.
Yeah. No, you're right. Phil, what did you make of the Kachuk deal? Brady going down to Florida.
Well, obviously, it was something that Brady Kachuk to a lot of. I'm not going to resign with you,
Yeah.
and you want to do something, try to get me to Florida, or else I'm just going to wait for free agency in 2 years, and I'm going
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go anywhere else, really. I just want to go there. I want to play with my brother. Which, believe me, I almost got traded to Chicago
Mhm.
from New York uh, in '68. I would have finished my career in Chicago with Tony.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Harrison failed the medical exam, or else I would have been traded.
Wow. No,
Yeah, in '78.
Kachuk left, and I said this a couple of weeks ago. I thought all three of the captains north of the border that were big names, Brady Kachuk, Connor McDavid, and Austin Matthews, would all be on different teams in 3 years. What do you think about the future of Austin Matthews in Toronto and Connor McDavid in Edmonton?
I think Connor McDavid is going to give Edmonton his best shot in the next year or two, especially with them hiring Babcock, which
Mhm.
was a surprise. And why Vegas held up on allowing what's his name to go
Exactly. Yeah.
there
Mhm.
is beyond me. I don't understand that one. But I think if they don't, he's going to be what, 32,
Mhm.
and he wants to win a cup. And he's going to say, I'm going to go to a team that I believe has a real good chance to win a cup. If they think that Edmonton has a real good chance this year, it's going to be on the absolute back of McDavid and Draisaitl,
Right.
without a doubt. Nobody else. One of them better not get hurt
Mhm.
because their roster, to me, is not good enough to sustain the rest of the team. And their goaltending isn't. And that's not for me to say, that's for them to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's Bowman, but that's how I feel. And as far as what was the other one you was asking me about?
Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews. Look, I don't know. I think Austin would prefer to go and play in the States somewhere. I don't know.
Mhm.
That's the impression I
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
looking at him. Boy, what a player.
Yeah.
What a shot. And people say, oh boy, it was all Mariner. I've heard that my whole career. It was always somebody else.
Right.
Austin Matthews is a pure goal scorer.
Mhm.
That's what he is. And he showed you how good he was as a complete player in that Olympics.
Yeah, he was.
He was fabulous in the
Mhm.
Olympics. Maybe he didn't score what the people thought he should, but boy, he played a great game. Great game. I don't think he ends. I think he ends up somewhere else. I think McDavid ends up somewhere else unless they win a cup. And Toronto is a long way from winning a cup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've talked about this before too, Phil. What do you think the likelihood is that one day you see Connor McDavid with John Cooper with the Tampa Bay Lightning? Do you think that's a possibility? Because last year, I said something and it went out there and people, I came up with an idea, kind of the framework of a deal where it was like, Braden Point and Connor Geeky and a first round pick and maybe 2 other prospects. And, we know he has a love for John Cooper, and you and I have kind of talked a little bit about it. Let's say it goes really bad with Mike Babcock. Fast forward a year. Do you see Connor McDavid possibly being, traded to Tampa Bay or signing here in free agency a couple of years? How realistic do you think that is?
Well, it's realistic, but Coop is the longest tenure coach.
Yeah.
And, you never know. What if we have a stinky poop leader?
Right. Mm-hmm. You're right.
You just don't know. So you can't say that. Is there a possibility? Absolutely. Do we have the assets? Yes, but does Edmonton want to trade him? Absolutely not.
Right.
Absolutely not. I don't care. You can blow the socks off him, and I don't think they would trade him. And you got Kucherov, right? We got Kucherov. And I've heard people say we should trade Kucherov now while he's still top of his game. Kucherov's going to be on top of his game. It's not what he does during the regular season. Recently, in the last 3 years or so, it's been what he's done in the playoffs. And that's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. And without him, we're not going to win in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. He's got to be better. He knows it. If he doesn't know it, then somebody's blowing smoke up his ass.
Last one for me, Phil, before I let you go. Somebody wanted to know, who is the most famous person in your phone?
In my phone?
Yeah, in your phone. When you're talking about people, I'm not saying you have to call them right now. I'm not saying you have to show me as proof. But who do you think is the most famous person in your phone?
Gee.
That's a good one. You didn't know you were getting that one today.
No, I didn't. Sometimes I forget who the hell is in my phone. I know Dennis Leary's in my phone. He's pretty famous, I guess. I don't know.
Gretzky?
Bobby Orr is pretty famous. Gretzky's famous. He's in my phone, too. Mark is famous. Mark Mess is in my phone.
What about, you still got like maybe Putin or Trump or any other dignitaries?
Oh, I don't have Putin anymore, no. Oh. I did, but I got the people that are close to him. In fact, I got a phone call this morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going over there? When are you going back?
I don't think I. As long as the 2 lunatics are having this fucking war, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm with you.
And I'm talking about Putin and that other guy. What's his name?
Zelensky.
Zelensky.
Everybody says I look like Zelensky. I'm like, I don't look like Zelensky. Get off my ass, you crazy maniacs.
Shit, no. First place, as short as you are, you get a watermelon off his head.
Phil, this has been a lot of fun, my friend. I can't believe we actually got it done, my man. I cannot believe it.
I don't know how I did this. Good direction. Now, promise me you're going to teach me when I get a laptop.
You got it, my friend. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your weekend. Tell Bridget we said hello, and we'll get up with drinks with Dee and Ira and everybody soon, and we'll work on that laptop. Thanks, pal.
I'll talk to you next week.
All right. See you, buddy.
Ciao.
See ya. The great Phil Esposito. Unbelievable. Oh, my God. He's the man. I had to ask him who's the most famous person in his phone. What a great chat. He's the man. Love him. Love him. You're the best, Phil. We love you. Thank you, partner. I gotta text him, right? You're the man. Thank you. That's perfect. Word perfect. Thanks, buddy. He's the man, right? He's the man. And now that, like, he's been on, we'll get him on again. Now that we know. But he's like, we were so close today for Phil either coming to my house or me going to Phil's house. and it wasn't working. Like he was going to hop on and then flip it around, and it worked perfectly. So, we'll go from there. All right. I love you guys. Follow me on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. Like and subscribe on YouTube as well. You guys are the best, man. You really are. And a big thank you to everybody out there that has joined us on the program today. It was a Hall of Fame day. A Hall of Fame day here on the show with Phil Esposito, Jeff Attinella, and Ira Kaufman. David Terry, our first member of the Recher podcast, the crew. Get on now. Go back to the YouTube beginning where it says subscribe. Right next to it, click join. Sign up for the membership. You get some perks there. And shout out to DT, $10 super chat as well. Big thank you to Honest Hammer, Ever Health, Wayne Gonzalez, and South Coast Screens. Could not do this without you guys. Rolly and everybody. Again, you guys are the best. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Go Portugal and Cristiano and everybody. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for the love and the support. I got to go back down to Bradenton. I'm actually going to go see T-Kraz now and give him his Knicks shirt, and then we'll go from there. I love you all. See you on